Welcome back to the Global Fantasy Sports Forum, where we look at all things fantasy sports. And this edition, we're going to be looking at NRL Fantasy and Supercoach yet again. And we're going to be covering Shaun Lane. Shaun Lane, he is the most selected NRL Supercoach edge player, or I should say second row player. I'm getting my games mixed up. And we're going to have a look at potentially why. But if you haven't done so yet, hit the thumbs up button. If you guys enjoy the content, like the video as it does wonders. And subscribe to Global Fantasy Sports Forum, as we will cover multiple and different topics across all different sports as well. So if you guys are a fan of the NRL, AFL, EPL, F1 or NBA, hit the subscribe button and stay tuned. Now, let's have a look into Shaun Lane. And we'll start off with NRL Fantasy as always. And we have a look here. NRL Fantasy, Shaun Lane, he's currently priced at $558,000. It's, about mid-tier, it's about average. And at the moment, he's the 10th most selected edge forward in NRL Fantasy. Now, we can see here, he did have a season-ending injury, played 10 games last season, and he wasn't at his best. He was definitely not where he was, especially after a really strong 2022. And since he joined Para, he's been pretty damn consistent in terms of health and his run of injuries. He hasn't been too affected by injuries until last year, playing 22 games or more. And he's been a consistent asset. He's been solid, averaging 42 points at the very least. He really broke out in 2022, where he averaged 52.5 points in fantasy. And, he was running a lot more. He averaged, career high running meters. He had a career high in offloads. He was just a workhorse for Para, and he was doing really well. And for me, for NRL Fantasy, I might be a bit biased here, but being the Parramatta fan that I am, I think he is going to bounce back. I think he is going to do pretty well. And look, if he can average 45 to 50, I think at his price range, it's going to be a good get. So for me, I think, is he the most essential for NRL Fantasy? I don't think he's at the top of the range. I think at the moment, I would rate him a 6 out of 10. I think he'll be good to have. I think he'll make some value. And he should have some good performances. He's going to be a key part of the Eels forward pack. But we'll see how he goes. And, there's definitely a lot of players that are slightly cheaper, like a Siua Wong for the Roosters that you could look at to potentially replace him if he's starting. So for me, I'm gonna take the punt and I'm gonna give him a chance, but it's not the most essential. 6 out of 10. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. Is Shaun Lane a good asset for NRL Fantasy? Now, moving over to the other end in NRL Supercoach, Shaun Lane, he's priced at $446,200, and he is the most owned edge forward or second row forward in NRL Supercoach, and I've got him in as well for Supercoach and NRL Fantasy. Now, it's very interesting here. 446 is a very, very good price in my opinion, and it seems like Fantasy and Supercoach, they're two separate games. It's very rare, in Fantasy he's priced a bit higher, in Supercoach he's priced a bit lower. And if you guys have seen my videos of both Fermor and Pappenhausen, I do discuss the price discrepancies there. But Shaun Lane, he's a bit more balanced, and I feel like he's going to be a good asset across both forms of fantasy. And if you looked at 2023, he only averaged 43.7. He was quite disappointing, considering that he started at 724 after a killer 2022. I feel like this could be something similar. He could definitely average 60 odd, 50 to 60, and make quite a nice jump in an end price. So I feel like he's going to be worth it. And just because he got injured, it's not like he's going to forget how to play football. So I think he's going to be very vital and crucial. I think he's going to be a great asset for Supercoach. For me, I can see why everyone's jumping aboard. 2021 averaged 53 points. 2020 averaged close to 60 as well. 56 or 55, 56 in 2019. So he's been very consistent throughout his career, despite being part of different clubs. So yeah, Sean Lane, I definitely think he's going to be a good punt at 446,000. And for me, I've gone with a lot of low-valued second row forwards with both Thermal Piakura, Josh Curran. But yeah, Rashawn Lane, he is the most selected edge or second row forward in Supercoach. And I definitely think he's going to be a good value across both formats. So let me know what you guys think. Is Sean Lane somebody that a lot of teams should have? Do you currently have him in your team? And let me know, what's the verdict on him from 1 to 10? Is he somebody that is essential? Discuss away. Take care.